Welcome to the good life. Welcome to the good life.
The wait is over.
Welcome to the good life.
And after all the talk, all I gotta say is,
welcome to the good life.
You're welcome. You're all welcome. Like we always do at this time.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on Money Monday, and we are here to get your mind right, your pockets right, and we are here to create generational wealth. We have so many things that go on in the world today, but we really need to start focusing on how we build our brand. It is so important because your brand is what makes you who you are. We're going to have Telly Medina give us a call in a minute, and you know he is my partner in, I'd say, wealth, I'd say voting, I'd say branding, I'd say in community, and just making sure that we get the message out. And so what I wanted to let you know is, talking about branding right now, I have a special surprise for everyone listening today, because The Good Life is about to take it to the next level. And when you take it to the next level, I want to open it up to community, because I want this to be a community thing, because that's what The Good Life is all about, at least for me. And so to take the show to the next level, what I need to do is to create my own theme music. So I am opening it up to all of our listeners. If you know someone who is in music, if you know somebody who is interested in doing the theme music for the Good Life radio show, I want you to make sure that they contact me. My number is 504-400-7127, and that is the number for the Good Life and Carter Business Development. It is 504-400-7127, or you can email me. Email me at Eileen, EILEEN, at TGL, The Good Life, TGLradioshow.com. That's Eileen at TGLradioshow.com. I know if you all have been listening for a while that we did a marketing reach to grow to an iHeartRadio channel, and I have that opportunity, but I need to create my own theme music. And so I figured out, why not reach out to the New Orleans community, because that's exactly what New Orleans is famous for. And, see if someone was interested in, working with me. Because when I walk out on Ellen, I know y'all want your theme music there. So make sure that you give me a call. And I want to, whoever is the winner of the contest, we will be, launching the music at the beginning of January. It'll be the first show, and we will also have them here. I'll do an interview with them, let people know where they are, how they've gotten to where they are, how music has inspired them, and, give them a little sampling of their music. So all of my musicians out there, my DJs, or anyone who's interested in doing something music, give me a call at 504-400-7127, 504-400-7127, and that is The Good Life. And email me, Eileen at TGLradioshow.com. That's Eileen at TGLradioshow.com. Good morning, Telly. How are you?
I'm a little disheartened. How you know I don't do music?
Exactly. Well, I was about to reel you into that. I said, Telly, you have a beat. You have a little beat you've been working on, and you want to get it on the radio?
No, I'm not going to even embarrass myself. I was joking about that. I don't. Sorry.
But I know you know a lot of people. I'm sure you know somebody who does music who this would be a great opportunity for. Your song would be literally on the radio every morning. It would be, doing the intros throughout the day on WBOK. You'd have a spot right here. We would go through, kind of like your music, what inspires you, what brought you there, and you'd have a platform. So, I'm trying to help our New Orleans musicians, bring it there, and let's do it together, because that's what The Good Life is all about. It's about opening people's minds to living differently in the world. So I'm going to do that myself, and we're going to launch it in January, and then we're going to go out and we're going to get a iHeartRadio channel, and then we're going to, WBOK touches the world, but hopefully we'll be able to touch many more people as well. So,
well, I will say that you should share, put it on your Facebook page, ask folks, and then I will share it to some of the folks that I know and see what they say. It is a beautiful morning. Does anyone realize this is the last day of hurricane season? Thank God, officially.
Hello. And speaking of it, Telly, for real, that means all that money y'all save in your hurricanes accounts, you can only use 10% of it for Christmas. The rest of it you have to save.
Or
right.
You could tie it to the church.
Or you could tie it to the church. There you go. Well, at least I say, hey, save some of it, because you're going to need it for next year. So at least you have a leg up for next year. We like to have a little bit of savings. It is Money Monday, but the good life is we've made it safe. We've slid through hurricane season, so you can treat yourself. Maybe to a hurricane meal. Go out to dinner, act like a tourist in your own town. Use some of that hurricane money.
I'll go buy a hurricane.
There you go. Or go buy a hurricane.
There you go.
There you go. Well, today we kind of wanted to get into marketing and branding. And so actually the show is brought to you today by Carter Business Development. And we're really going to get into those marketing and those tips that everyone doesn't really, always think about, because we know our business very well. We're a plumber, an electrician, or whatever you do and you specialize in. You know that very well. But sometimes marketing isn't necessarily your specialty. So we're going to get into that a little bit today. But I think Telly does it very well. And everybody markets themselves and what they do in different ways. But being a lobbyist and having your own firm, Telly, you are your own brand, correct?
Yeah, that you are your own brand. But I think the thing, and maybe this is based off of New Orleans, like I don't see me just talking about politics or talking about, being a lobbyist. All that's cool, but a lot more goes into it than just talking about politics. For example, I love Norman Playground in Algiers, where I coach at. We're about to start basketball practice, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I will see more opportunities when I'm on a playground randomly having a conversation with one of my parents than ever a time where I'm just necessarily in Baton Rouge and just so happen to be in the know and know a person like Christian Rhodes or somebody like that, and an opportunity comes up. That sometimes that as long as you're doing the right thing, opportunities kind of just show themselves,
mm-hmm.
and you just have to be able to take advantage of them and be able to talk about your business and really know it. I think I had an opportunity recently within the last week or so, and believe it or not, I didn't feel like I was as prepared as I needed to be for the conversation for this job opportunity,
mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
I was really upset with myself. It was in the medical, pharmacy medical industry. And I said to myself, this was one time that I needed to be able to have my 30-second elevator pitch for that moment. And I didn't feel like it was as tight or as succinct as it needed to be. So that's always important.
Always important. And I think people really kind of put that to the side a little bit. What do you do? How do you deliver what you do in 30 seconds or less? And actually, you should really have a 10-second one, a 30-second one, and then maybe a minute and a little bit longer, depending on the amount of conversation. At least for Carter Business Development, building bridges within our communities. That's what we do. We build bridges now.
I didn't know you built bridges.
I do build bridges with marketing, outreach, and business development.
Oh, I'm joking.
No, I am not an engineer. Not yet. That's on my to-do list. That's on my bucket list. But, you really and obviously for the good life, if you don't know it yet, I'm sure it has sunk in. Opening minds to living differently in the world. 10 seconds. That's what I do. Now, how do I do it? Through Money Monday, Relationship Tuesday, Wellness Wednesday, Gumbo Talk Thursday, and the Good Life Friday. And I can go into those specifically and how I do that, and then the cohort of people that I have together that are moving that movement forward, and how that we have grown in so many different areas and industries, and how I can help you create your business and move your business forward, reaching 15,000 people just in this area. And then I can go get my list from Spreaker and SoundCloud and WBOK and all the people that we reach. We reach people all over the world. We have listeners in Ireland. We have listeners in Belize. We have listeners in the United Kingdom. Right here in the United States, we have listeners. Our second largest area would be Houston, and then Ashburn, North Carolina, and then Los Angeles, California, and then Atlanta, and then all of those areas as well. And obviously Dallas, shout out to my listeners there. But I'm saying you have to be able to deliver that conversation in a short amount of time, because that's what catches people's interest. And Telly, you do that every day, very eloquently, actually. So when you are working with a company, how do you brand their, their why statement? Because that's what's so important. Actually, we're going to get into that more through the break, but their why statement, because we talk about all the time about creating a block of voters. Well, to get a block of voters, we have to brand our cause, basically, and our cause is voting, or whatever the specific idea is that we have that time, whether it's, equal pay, or just like for you, it's coastal restoration. I know that's a big one for you. You work with the oyster farmers. So how do you get the buy-in? How does coastal restoration touch each of us? How do you get the buy-in?
I think everyone should always look at what is considered to be a SWOT analysis: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And as I develop a SWOT analysis in my mind, and then you go exactly to my father, my bond ankle, third-generation oyster fisherman, what is it that you want to accomplish? What do you want people to know? And then you figure out the relationships via media, social media, business interests, finances. What are those things that you need to do to be able to get your message out? For example, for us, it just so happened that Sundiata Haley invited us to meet Congresswoman Maxine Waters at an event, and she never knew that there were black oyster fishermen. And she said, I'm going to have y'all testify in Congress. And 3 weeks later, we testified before the House Judiciary Committee. Just so happened to be somewhere having a conversation with Sundiata, who had a relationship with the Congresswoman, and we've been supporters of hers, and she's been supportive of ours ever since. And we're able to bring that message before the House Judiciary Committee to talk about what happened during the BP oil spill. So, and we have continually gone to Washington, D.C. and worked with issues around that realm. I think a lot of people have a lot of great ideas, and sometimes they're all over the place. Find what your niche is, find the thing that you're passionate about, and then what are the 3 things that you want to get accomplished? We knew that we wanted people to know more about the Oyster Association, right? We wanted to be kind of a person that you come to, you access for information on pricing, because pricing in that industry is extremely important. And we also wanted people to know that even though we're talking just about African-American oyster fishermen, there were a lot of people in this area, the Plaquemines, Jefferson, and all around, that were family and friends, and how it affected the restaurant industry all across South Louisiana. So that was our message, and that's what we said.
So the why for people, you really get to show them why and how it affects them, right? Why should you care about this? Why does it matter? How does it affect your life? Well, we love our oysters down here. We love seafood. And when you all want to make oyster dressing on Thanksgiving, instead of it being, $3, $4, it's $7, $8, $9, $10, and you're like, well, maybe we're not gonna have oyster dressing. You know what I'm saying? So these things affect your pockets. And when you go out to a restaurant and you want oysters on the half shell, you're like, $20 a dozen. Yeah, $20 a dozen because this, and this, and this is why it affects you, and this is why it affects our entire community, and this is why you should be more cognizant of what's going on in this arena, because it affects our everyday lives.
But the most important question was asked to me by a friend of mine, Brian Gannon. And you know what Brian said?
What did he say?
He said, tell it, why should we be concerned about this when young black men are dying on the streets of New Orleans every day? It is single-handedly, I always talk about this question from Brian, the most important question I was ever asked when I asked people to care about the oyster industry and care about what's happening in coastal restoration. And we wasn't just talking about oysters, we were talking about coastal restoration. And when we had the conversation, I think we're having lunch, and he said, it's important, bruh, but what's more important is what I can see in front of me each and every day. I can't see that we're losing 38, we're losing a football field of land every 38 minutes. But I can see black men getting killed.
A football field of land every 38 minutes?
A football field of land every 38 minutes. So within you doing this show, with 16 minutes added to it, we would have lost another football field of land out somewhere within the Gulf, between Terrapone, St. Bernard, or one of these parishes, as we, lose land into the Gulf of Mexico itself. So, legitimate, right?
Right.
It's significant, and it will affect us in the long term. But Bunny Friend Park, or the shootings that happen, or, thinking that what is going on with African-American men, as you can see on Facebook this morning, there was a guy who posted something that I am against, because I participated with Bayou Classic, and we had a great weekend. Over 62,000 people that participated in the Classic or attended the game, which was pre-Katrina numbers. There was someone who said we need to start a petition on Change.org to ask Mayor Mitch Landrieu to move the Classic back to Southern or Grambling campus, because they realized that we had some violence, and it wasn't bad. There was a shooting on Bourbon Street during that time frame. It's very difficult for you to say that that was someone that was from one of those 2 historic universities, which we know it wasn't the truth because we get information afterwards. But back to Brian's question, that as we lose young black men, or as we lose Coastline, we lose the soul of who we are, our history. the individuals that make up the lifeblood of why we love this city called New Orleans. And we don't want to lose either one of them. We have to be able to fight everything. But everybody has a cause. Ovarian cancer is important to me because that's the thing that my mother died from. Smoking is important to Eileen Carter because that was some of the issues that she had with her grandparents, right?
Right.
Those two things are they can be forms of cancer, and the things that we care about the most. They're very important to us, and we can't put all the energy, effort, and money into all of them. But you have to be able to take your cause and find other people who are concerned about ovarian cancer, right? And merge with them in order to bring forth a piece of legislation, or to do a march, or raise money for these women that are fighting a deadly disease. Violin, smoke-free, making sure that Aiden and your cousins and your family don't smoke again in the future. You know, if there is someone who's smoking, figure out what the preventive measures are. But to find these people who have commonality with you, and once you find people who have commonality with you, that's how you start to develop what we talk about as block voting. See the people who have your interests at heart. We know one of Eileen's big interests is a playground that's uptown called Harrell.
Yes.
Well, all of the parents that are concerned about what's happening with Harrell at the playground. Well, if there's a pothole that's 10 feet deep on South Claiborne, and it isn't, but I'm just using it as an example, then that should be the thing that the parents at Harrell may be concerned about, because that affects Aiden and the rest of the kids' well-being and a way of life.
Absolutely.
So that's how we try to develop those things, because that is Money Mondays. Being concerned about what happens with your interests will at some point affect your pocketbook. What you do about those things, or the decisive decisions that you make, will be, you know, the thing that will last, the thing that will stand, so that we can be concerned about our finances, but our overall way of life for the future of the city.
Absolutely. And target marketing is so important. And we talk about it. We're going to talk about it with respect to business after the break. But target marketing in voting is so important. That is the good life. We need to get together. We need to target the audience, and we need to create block voting. And we need to not do it in one election, but we need to do it in each and every election, because that is the good life. This is Eileen. This is Telly Medina. Thank you so much, Telly, for being my partner in voting. And we will be right back.
WBOK takes it to another level every evening from 6 until 9 with the Reverend Al Sharpton. Keeping it real every weekday evening from 6 until 9 p.m. on WBOK 1230 AM, where it's real talk for real time.
Do you know anyone with less than perfect credit? At KB Enterprises, they specialize in restoring your score. Learn how to increase your credit score with 100% satisfaction guarantee. A+ rating with the BBB, 10-year track record of removing negative items including repossessions, foreclosures, bankruptcies, tax liens, student loans, and more. Kenneth Barnes and his team at KB Enterprises are excited about helping you restore your credit and achieving your financial goals. Whether it's acquiring a home or purchasing a car, don't miss this opportunity to change your life forever. For more info, give them a call at 504-577-4139. Log on to www.kennethbarnes.org and be sure to tune in to The Good Life on Money Mondays and get your financial tips for the week from Kenneth Barnes so you can live the good life too.
You're on the move, and so is your bank. Liberty Bank now offers you the power to manage your money from the palm of your hand with mobile banking with Liberty Bank. Whether you need to check balances, transfer money, or view transactions, mobile banking at Liberty Bank allows convenient and secure access to your money. Enroll today at www.libertybank.net and download our mobile app. You can mobile bank at Liberty Bank to keep the power in your hands. Liberty Bank. There's freedom here. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
You might think it's just another day, but at Metro Disposal, this is our day. For more than 25 years, Metro Disposal has been a vital resource for waste management in our community. With state-of-the-art equipment and technology, we are committed to providing a cleaner, safer, healthier environment. This is our community. This is Metro Disposal.
Are you looking for a better way to get fit? Bored with the same old routines? Looking for results or a way to instill discipline in the kids? Tiger Rock Martial Arts is the answer with Taekwondo, kickboxing, and self-defense classes. Tiger Rock diversifies your training in ways that allows individuals of all ages and fitness levels to feel like a champion. Join Tiger Rock today. TigerRockNola.com or 504-455-9694. That's 504-455-9694 with a 3-class starter pack starting for only $38, which includes your training uniform. Learn, grow, and succeed with Tiger Rock's 3 convenient locations: Old Metairie, West Bank, and Clearview. There's no better time to start gaining strength, skills, and protection for life than now. 504-455-9694. 504-455-9694. See you on the mat.
Monday through Friday from 4 to 6 in the afternoon, The Grapevine will be informing, encouraging, and educating the inhabitants of the greatest city on earth. I'm your host, Graylin B. Banks, and I hope you'll please join us on The Grapevine on WBOK 1230 AM. Real talk for real times.
WBOK, New Orleans.
Welcome to the good life.
The wait is over.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on Money Monday, and we are here to get your mind right, get your pockets right, get your business right, and we are here to create generational wealth, and that's what we do. Kenneth Barnes is out today because his son is having surgery, so I wish for each of you, when you say your prayers, just to keep him in mind because they're having a surgery this morning. So we want to keep Kenneth and his family in our prayers. But today we are really discussing marketing and branding. It is really so important for your business, so I figured it was a great day for Carter Business Development to sponsor the show. And with that being said, we also are having a contest. Carter Business Development is putting out a contest for the Good Life Radio Show to have a new theme song. So all of our musicians, all of our DJs, anyone interested in creating some theme music, we'll need probably about 90 seconds of music. The Good Life Radio Show is moving to the next level. We want to open people's mind to living differently in the world, and we are looking for a new theme music. So if you want to be that person, if you know someone who's interested, or you know someone who's an up-and-coming artist, please make sure that they contact the Good Life Radio Show at 504-400-7127. That's 504-400-7127. Or you can email me, Eileen, spell my name right, EILEEN at tglradioshow.com. That's Eileen at tglradioshow.com. And we will be putting something up this afternoon, probably right after 12. So make sure you follow us on social media. It will be The Good Life Radio Show on Facebook, The Good Life Radio Show on Facebook. So all of the information will be there. Or you can follow me on Instagram. That's at TGL Radio Show, at TGL Radio Show. And it's the same on Twitter. At TGL Radio Show, at TGL Radio Show. We are looking for some new theme music. You know, I'm not planning on paying Kanye West. So we're going to branch out to all of our musicians in New Orleans, and what better, way to grow the good life and to, help someone who's, working their way up. So we like to do it together because that is the good life. Now, I have a business called Carter Business Development. I do business outreach. And so I help so many family and friends and, so many people. I was like, let me, let my listeners know a little bit about what I do, because it's about Money Monday and it's about really opening people's minds to living differently in the world. So I wanted to, talk about marketing. Being smart with marketing ensures the success of your business by attracting more customers and keeping them coming back. We need to look after ourselves. And so many times we know exactly what we do very well. We know what our expertise are. But so many times the marketing piece is the part that eludes us. And it's sometimes the part that you really don't want to put your money into it. But think about it. You have all of these huge corporations that spend billions and billions of dollars on marketing and advertising. Now, you can't tell me they're doing that for no reason. They know exactly why they're doing it. They know exactly who their target market is, and they explain the why of their business. And so many times, actually, it was at the Idea Village that their last I can't even get it, convention, I would say, on Fulton. And I was there, and I was a correspondent. And so I went to a lot of the events, and I, gave tidbits for each one and wrote little blogs. And so one of the ones that I went to was delivering the why about your brand. And it's so important because these days, people aren't buying into your product necessarily. They're buying into exactly why you deliver your product. You can have the best product in the world, and they probably have, especially in New Orleans, let's just say you have a restaurant, but they have like 50 million restaurants, so why go to your restaurant? What makes you different? Your why is what makes you different. Why did you open your business? Why should people come to see you? Why? Deliver the why. What makes them different is your story. So you have to deliver your story because people are inspired by your story. People aren't just necessarily looking to give their dollar anywhere. They want to have a feel good. That's why people, are gearing to Apple more than gearing to, let's say, Microsoft or whatever. They want to feel good. They want to be a part of a movement. They want to be a part of something. So let me just give you a little bit. I know Telly was discussing elevator pitches. And your elevator pitch, your elevator speech, whatever you'd like to call it, is really very important. So let me just give you a little bit of something that I have for the radio show. The Good Life opens your mind to living differently in the world. I am the host and producer of the only magazine lifestyle talk show, The Good Life Radio Show on WBOK 1230 AM in New Orleans, Louisiana, where a movement is forming. The Good Life Radio Show creates a legendary lifestyle, has more fun, cultivates higher levels of freedom, and touches more lives. Join The Good Life Radio Show. Join the movement. Tune in. You need to get something and create something that's going to drive people to you. Why should they do it? I'm going to open your mind to living differently in the world. You're going to feel good. People are like, how are you so excited in the morning? Because I want to touch one person. And if I touch one person, then that's made, for me personally, it's made my day better. And I hope that they, share that and they make other people's day better. So getting back to the marketing a little bit, you don't have to be a rocket science to be a good marketer. But there's no one silver bullet or one size fits all. Every business is different, and the marketing plan and tactics for, let's just say, a mortgage broker are entirely different from those of a computer reseller or, someone on the radio show. So sometimes if it's not your forte, reach out and say, you know what? I've tried to do this, this, and the other. This isn't working for me. They have lots of marketing firms that, are willing to help you. And there are a lot of ways that you can do it for a minimal amount of money and start to see some progress. And then you may want to start investing more money into it. But at some point, you have to realize what you do well and what you don't do well and start to, plan it out accordingly. Knowing what to not do also comes into marketing and it's as important as knowing what to do. Let's face it, in the murky world of marketing, it can be tricky to navigate. So to get the full know-how before you jump in and building a website. There's so many of these websites out here, a free website here and a free website there. But how are you going to get your website out there? How are you going to get people you know? How are people going to know about you? Let's first start here. Do your family and friends actually know what you do? There are so many times where if you really think about it, our family and friends don't even know what we do every day. So if your family and friends don't know what you do, how can you grow your business? Number one, we talk about block voting. Let your family and friends be your block that helps you market. They need to know exactly what you do. They need to be able to deliver a 10-second elevator speech for you. Oh, I have a cousin that does this, 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 and this. Oh, my friend Eileen, she's on the radio. She opens people's minds to living differently in the world. She's a feel-good show, and I feel better and uplifted after I listen to it. You should tune in at WBOK. What are you doing to get your message out to your family and friends so that you can grow your business? The next step would be putting your customers first and understanding exactly who they are. Who is your target audience? Do you actually pay attention to who is buying your products, who you're doing business with, what the demographic is? Do you know who you're targeting? How many of us take the time to really sit down and say, okay, you know what? In this last week, the highest times were between 12 and 4 o'clock. Okay, now who is buying during those times? or, this region, Northern Louisiana, is buying my products. I don't have anyone in Southern Louisiana. How am I not reaching that audience? Who is your demographic? Why are they buying for you? Reach out and touch somebody. And knowing that target audience is anyone who isn't anyone who is breathing. Targeting your targeting your marketing activities fairly and squarely at the people who need and want your service or product is the secret to creating quality inquiries and getting prospects to open their wallet. The next one is understanding that marketing is not advertising. So many times you think it's just advertising, and it's not. Let's not make the mistake of thinking that advertising and websites are the only two ways to attract more business. You can market your small business in literally hundreds of ways, so it pays to know what they are and then eliminate the ones that don't work or that you can't afford up front. There are so many ways, especially with social media, that you can really do free marketing. I was at an event and we were talking about, the highest ways on social media that were getting them, feedback and prospects. And funny, one of the largest ones for food vendors and restaurants was Instagram. Now, how many businesses and restaurants are not on Instagram? Well, the reason why Instagram is growing so much is Instagram is a platform of pictures. People want to see what they're eating. It gives them that feel like, oh, I want to go eat that. They have that visual. It's that sensory reflex. I want to go buy that. I want to eat that. Think about, here's a good one, District Donuts. And look, shout out to you. But they have an Instagram page and they show all their donuts every day. They show how they make them, what they do. And it's like, I want a donut. Why? Because you saw the donut. You didn't want a donut before you saw it. You now want the donut. But they're doing great marketing. And how much is it costing them? Nothing on Instagram but a couple times. Click, click, click. But they're taking advantage and they're building the why and they're building their clientele. And then they have the donut of the day. What are you doing to reach out to your clientele? Especially, sometimes we get stuck in our marketing ways, especially, when we get a little secure. But how do you take your business to the next level? Sometimes we need to go where the audience is. And if your audience is on social media, you need to reach out and touch them on social media. So go that extra step and make sure you know that you're touching your target audience where they are. And next will be setting sales goals and targets. Marketing really is a numbers game. Marketing efforts that won't directly or indirectly bring in new business have absolutely no point. You are wasting your time. Know what your goals are in terms of revenue, expenses, profit, number of inquiries, and of course, numbers of new sales. Know what you need to make your numbers work. Play with your numbers, see what they are, and know what you need. Okay, I need this many customers at this amount of money, and this is going to make it work. I need, them to buy this many SKUs. I want my average SKU to be 3. Well, then how are you going to do that? I'm going to, start bundling items. If I put this item and this item together, and then I put it at a perfect price point, we can build this together. And then, how do you bring people in? Let's just say you have a restaurant. I have a couple friends with a restaurant, so this is why it's on the top of my head right now. What are you doing? You have all of these activities going on. You have, football's going on, basketball's going on. How do you bring people in? What are you doing different than your competitors? Do you have a special day of the week? Even if you, let's just say you have contractors. They have a lot of contractors. Take pictures of, building a house or building, a school or whatever you're doing. Take pictures as you progress. If you're a landscaper, take pictures of your progress. I'm doing this house, this residential house. This is what it looked like when I started. This is what it looked like after we dug it up. This is what it looked like after we put mulch. This is what it looks like after we have beautified it. It has plant life, it has flowers, and it has everything else. People want to see what they're getting. Reach out to your customers, give them a visual, and that's the good life. They want to see what they're doing, and that's what makes you different than your competitors. You are reaching out and you are touching your customers. You don't realize how much social media actually touch people. I actually did something for a friend, and it was just because they started. And shout out to him. I hope he's listening. But I just did a little social media for him when he started his business. He was like, Eileen, you don't understand the sales that I had from those days compared to the sales of other days. I thank you so much for, just posting on your page. It really makes a difference. You don't understand the amount of people that see your stuff, that share. And when you put your stuff out there, even if it's your personal page, that's your brand as well. So you with like a cup in your hand and drinking and, you know, I'm laid out and I'm here, there, and everywhere. People are paying attention to that. That's your brand as well. So pay attention to what you put on your social media sites as well as your social media business sites, because people pay attention. Because that is the good life, and you are what you present yourself. It's not just what I do Monday through Friday, and then on Saturday and Sunday I can put that I was at the club until 3 a.m. Well, you might have been there, but everybody doesn't need to know it, unless you were doing some business and there was a friend or whatever it may be. So just make sure what you're putting out there is what you want people to see. And last but not least for this segment, get a handle on the 4 P's of marketing: getting your product, getting your pricing, getting your placement strategy, i.e. distribution, and promotional strategy humming along and working together. It's a crucial part of good marketing. Your product. Are you really delivering the best product out there? If not, take a minute, retweak it. There may be one thing that you need to do. Sometimes it may be changing the color of the packaging. It could be, you know, just how you deliver it or who you're targeting to. Make sure your product is a good product before you're delivering it. Pricing. Sometimes that $5 price point and that $4.99 are two different things. That $4.99 can sell your product and that $5 will sit on the shelf. Placement strategy. Where are you putting it and are you reaching your target? And promotional strategy. How are you promoting it? And not necessarily just social media. Do you have the money to do TV, radio, The Good Life? Hello, WBOK. How are you promoting your marketing? Let's talk about some more good business marketing tools when we get back. This is The Good Life. This is Money Monday, and we'll be right back.
Hello, WBOK listeners. This is Chuck Perkins, your Uptown Renaissance man. Join me every Monday through Thursday from 11 a.m. to noon for the Midday Mashup. It's where we discuss everything from politics to poetry. Remember, the Midday Mashups every Monday through Thursday from 11 a.m. until noon on WBOK 1230 a.m., where it's real talk for real times.
I need help. My hair is a mess and my man texts me telling me to be ready for 8. He has a surprise. What am I going to do? My stylist takes forever.
I got you. Call Ringlet Salon. I just left there.
Where?
Ringlet Salon. They took me within minutes and had me in and out in no time. Very professional, and I scheduled online at ringlets.com.
For real?
Girl, for real.
Does Ringlet Salon hook up your roof?
Looks like I got a perm, and you know I'm anti-chemicals. Ringlet Salon has my hair soft and bouncy. I'm getting the Brazilian Blowout Express next week. It eliminates frizz for 6 weeks.
6 weeks? Okay, I'm all about Ringlet Salon. Where are they located?
Ringlets has 2 locations, one at 4712 Paris Avenue and one in the Hilton Hotel on the river. That location validates parking for 4 hours and is open on Sunday.
Perfect for a working woman like me. That's all I needed to know. I'm going to be fresh for my man.
You will if you schedule your appointment at ringlets.com. That's RINGLETTS.com.
Bye. Go and make my appointment with Ringlet Salon now. With more than 30 years of experience and dedication servicing New Orleans and Baton Rouge, Richards Disposal provides dependable, non-hazardous solid waste collection and disposal services to residential, commercial, and industrial customers. We also provide recycling and portable toilets. At Richards Disposal, we are known for our expertise and we're dedicated to our customers, all while utilizing the most advanced, environmentally friendly, and cost-effective methods possible. We strive to provide the latest solutions and technology to get the job done. At Richards Disposal, we appreciate our customers, one pickup at a time. Call us today at 504-241-2142. Richards Disposal, community-focused, environmentally friendly.
Do you know anyone with less than perfect credit? At KB Enterprises, they specialize in restoring your score. Learn how to increase your credit score with 100% satisfaction guarantee. A+ rating with the BBB, 10-year track record of removing negative items including repossessions, foreclosures, bankruptcies, tax liens, student loans, and more.
Kenneth Barnes and his team at KB Enterprises are excited about helping you restore your credit and achieving your financial goals. Whether it's acquiring a home or purchasing a car, don't miss this opportunity to change your life forever. For more info, give them a call at 504-577-4139. Log on to www.kennethbarnes.org and be sure to tune in to The Good Life on Money Mondays and get your financial tips for the week from Kenneth Barnes so you can live the good life too.
Showtime in the afternoon with John Slade is moving to 3 to 4 p.m. weekdays, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Continuing the message with your issues, your news, and your views. Still here on your station, WBOK 1230 AM. Remember, Showtime in the afternoon with John Slade is moving to 3 to 4 p.m. weekdays, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Continuing the message on WBOK 1230 AM. Real talk for real times.
WBOK, New Orleans.
Welcome to the good life. Welcome to the good life.
The wait is over.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on Money Monday, and we are here to get your mind right with regards to marketing. We're opening people's minds to living differently in the world. You know, it's that time of year. It is Christmas. You know, everybody's thinking about buying this and buying that. But let's think about our marketing plan. What can we do to put a little life into our business, to grow our strategy, and to live the good life? Because that's what it's all about. You know, when people come to Carter Business Development, we always discuss, you know, what does your media toolkit look like? And people look at me like, what? Yes, your media toolkit. What tools do you have to grow your business? What do you go out there with? What do you lead with? How do you get new business? What are you armed with? So there are some essential tools for good business marketing. So I'm going to give you these little tips so that you can live the good life too. You know, if you're armed with the marketing essentials, you can't help but succeed in attracting new prospects and bringing in more business. And that's what it's all about. So spend some time on getting your marketing toolkit in place so you can be prepared at all times. So here are a few items that you should have in your marketing toolkit. A plan. People are like, huh? Yes, a plan. Do you have a plan? Getting a plan that will support you for years to come is essential to keep you on track. And go back to this plan on a regular basis. Go and check in. You know, this, and it's a working plan. Don't think it's just stuck. It's not stuck in stone. It's a working plan, you know, and it doesn't need to be as thick as War and Peace, but it does need to be written down. It needs to be something you can touch and feel and clearly communicated to your, that you understand and that your team understands as well, because your team is a reflection of who you are. So if your team doesn't know the plan, how can they act upon it? And sometimes that's the biggest breakdown, communication. Everyone needs to know and be on the same page, because that is the good life, even when business is booming. And sometimes when business is booming, that's when we kind of get away from that. We're like, oh, whatever, you know, I'm not going to pay as much attention. That's when you get the okie doke, and that's when you have a quick turnaround. Make sure you're always paying attention. You have a plan, you keep a budget, and you stay on track. And it's not that you just know the plan, because there's so many times the CEO knows exactly what they want to do, but the employees have no idea of which direction they want to take the company. And remember, the receptionist or whoever answers your phone is your first line of defense. So if they don't know the plan, you have a problem. Make sure everybody knows the plan and everybody is on the same page. And that leads us to our next tool in our marketing toolkit. It's having a great product or service. Advertising your business has absolutely no point if customers don't want it, don't value it, and don't love what you have to offer. So make sure you do your research and listen to your customers before sending your product or service out to the market. How many times do you call your customers? I challenge all of you, call at least 2 customers a week. Find out how you're doing. What is their response? What do they think you can do differently? What do they think you're doing well? Send out a research, a poll. It could be a 2-question poll. Have your receptionist call your customers and see what's going on in the industry. What could you offer extra that would really put you ahead of your competition? You don't know unless you ask. So make sure that you have a great product or service, because that's the good life, taking that extra step. The next piece in your toolkit is having a professional brand. We were talking about that with Telly, and I was talking about that a little bit before the break. Your brand, what you put out there. A brand is so much more than your logo. It encompasses everything that people see, that people hear, that people think and feel about your business. So invest up front in developing a brand that stands out from the crowd. It will save you money. It will save you heartache in the long run. Make sure you invest in your brand, and your brand is the why. Why are you doing it? You may have a restaurant. Well, my mother taught me this recipe, or my grandmother or my great-grandmother taught me this recipe. It has been in our family for years. You know, there's a lot of love in this. Our family has come together for years around a meal, and this is what I want to offer, you know, everyone in the community. That's your why. Why are you doing it? What is it, your passion? Let people understand that it's your passion. Let people understand why you're doing it. Open up. That's the good life, and that is what is going to grow your brand. It's going to bring people in. The next piece that are essential in your marketing toolkit is powerful marketing materials. How many of us walk around with no card? That is a problem. Your business card, your sales brochure, your sales letters, your website, your signage, your uniforms, your car decal, all of that speaks volumes about your business. So make sure they look professional and are appealing at all times. I know I recently got new cards, and speaking of it, I need to re-up someone. So if somebody needs sells business cards, let me know. But people keep talking about my eyes, and they're like, oh, your eyes. So what I did was I put my eyes on the back of my business card. I cannot tell you the reaction that I have now to my business cards and how people respond. And like, oh, yes, that's the good life. What do you do on your business cards to make them stand out? What are you doing differently? People have 100 business cards sitting on their desk. What is going to make your business card look different than everyone else's? Open your mind to living differently in the world. Stop living in a box. Let's start thinking outside the box. Powerful marketing materials create powerful brands. It creates powerful plans, and it creates powerful products. Open your minds. Let's really get into our powerful marketing materials. It changes things. And speaking of our elevator pitch, we're going back to this because it really is so important. In the course of marketing your business, you'll get asked thousands of times, what do? You get the question every day. So don't make the mistake of being boring. Make sure that you have a fun, interesting, and memorable pitch ready at all times, and be able to deliver it in time that it takes just to travel a few floors in an elevator. What is your pitch? How do you deliver your message to your audience? I am the visionary of Carter Business Development. I understand that business continues to change at a rapid pace. Yet the basic problem small businesses confront in their daily lives are access to markets, and that remains the same. For small businesses to compete, they must have access. Carter Business Development focuses on day-to-day efforts, seeking practical outreach and networking solutions. I create the bridge that generates wealth from within our community. Join Carter Business Development. Open your mind to living differently in the world. Give us that business development speech. What is your pitch? Sometimes you need to reach out of your comfort zone so that you can live the good life as well. And your website. What does your website look like? These days, websites are as minimal as maybe $5 to $10 a month. Take that $5 to $10 a month and invest in your business. They have some that are basically pre-made. All you have to do is drop in some pictures and your information. Create some content for your business. What are you doing to get your message out there? On social media, take that website and place it in different places. Share. Ask your family to share. With one share, you can maybe touch 500 to 600 people that you would have not touched if you didn't do it, and it cost you zero money. Start thinking outside the box. Take small steps, but grow your business, because that's a good life. And one of the backbones of your essential media kit would be a simple database. How do you reach your customers? Do you reach your customers? Because that is how you're going to grow your business. The backbone of all good marketing is about building a solid database of past, present, and future customers. And make sure that when you create your database, that you have them blocked into different areas. You can check them all and send out a mass one. But if you want to just touch your past customers, what did we do right? How can we bring you back? What made you come to XYZ company? What made us different? How can we do better? Touch them, your present customers. I am so glad that you have that you are a part of the Carter Business Development community. Send them a holiday card. Remind them of what you're doing. If you are growing, like right now, let me speak on it again. We are sending it out there to all of the music community. The Good Life Radio Show is looking for some new theme music so we can take it to the next level. So Carter Business Development is putting something out there, a new campaign, and we are looking for people who are in the music industry, a DJ or anyone like that who would be interested in doing 90 seconds for the Good Life Radio Show. And when I'm on Ellen, y'all going to want your theme music played, so make sure that you send it in because, look, I'm putting it out there, I'm claiming it, and that's what's going to happen. When I'm national, you're going to want your music played. So make sure you reach out. It's 504-400-7127. That's 504-400-7127, or you can email me at Eileen, EILEEN, at tglradioshow.com, Eileen@tglradioshow.com. So make sure if you're in the music industry, you know someone that is, you have a little cousin, a brother, an aunt, an uncle, whatever it may be, if they are in the music industry and they would like to have their music played every morning on WBOK, please give us a call, 504-400-7127. We will be launching the new theme music at the beginning of the year, and we will have a show just for you so we can find out a little bit about how you grow in the business, how is your passion, and we'll, give a little taste of your music on the air. So that is the Good Life. That's our new campaign. So, reach out to those people, 504-400-7127, 504-400-7127, and that is the Good Life. So now we've been talking about marketing and all these different things, but here are some ideas on exactly how to do it. Because some people that's a good idea, but how do I actually take it to the next level? How do I actually put this into action? Because you can sit there with all the good ideas in the world, but till you get up, you walk out the door, you put the key in your car, and you drive somewhere, nothing's going to change. So what you need to do is attend networking events, and sometimes it's hard, but we need to open our mind. We need to, get out our shells, and we need to attend things. But make sure you have those business cards in your pocket and have your elevator speech because it makes it so much easier. And before you get out there and go to the events, let me tell you this, practice on your family and friends. Practice that 10-second elevator speech to your family and friends because once you break the ice, it gets so much easier. But make sure it's not what you know, it's who you know. And get out there and network. Meet and greet. You never have too many friends in life, even if they don't end up being customers. You never know how it can open a door to opportunity for the future. So make sure you get out there and you attend different events. Also, take your business to the next level. Sponsor a local event or a charity. Sponsor a basketball team. Sponsor a baseball team. Sponsor a football team. Get your business out there to the community. Nobody knows you if you're not doing anything. And some of our basketball teams, I know you have AAU and all these teams, they would appreciate $200-300. They absolutely would. It would really, give them a leg up and it would help them out. Sponsor a team. Reach out to your community. I would also say manage your public relations. Get your name up in lights and on TV, especially on the radio. Shout out to WBOK. Get your name out on WBOK. Reach out to your community. It isn't as hard as you think, and you've got a story that's worth telling. Call WBOK. Get your name out there. Get on the radio. You listen every day. You might as well hear your commercial. And so then you have thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people who are hearing your commercial as well, and they're hearing your message. Get on the radio. Like I said as well, use social media. These are clever ideas to market your small business. Use social media. Social media sites like Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn are producing their own videos now. YouTube, Instagram, you can have short 12-second videos on Instagram. Get your message out there. You can write your own blog. Use creative message to let people know about you, what your business does. Like I said before about the landscaping, give us tips about, which I know nothing about plants, but you do. So make sure that you're getting your message out there. Let us know these are the plants that are best for this season. These will last throughout the years. These will only last a couple months. You may like them, you may enjoy them, but they'll last this long. And I have a discount on these plants. I have a discount on this service while you do it. Bundle your things. If you sign up for a contract for a year, for 12 months, you get this rate. If you do it for 3 months, you get this rate. If it's a summer rate, whatever it may be, give people options. People like options. Open your mind to living differently in the world. How about hosting a seminar or an event? host your own event and invite people and your customers and some of your friends. It's a great way to connect people. It's a great way to get to know people at a personal relationship, and it's a great way to build deep relationships. You know, if you're a part of an organization, the Black Chamber or whatever it may be, invite the Black Chamber, invite their members or people who are in your industry to a special event on safety, whatever it may be. Do something that opens other people's mind. Create that attitude of gratitude, you know, build a block, do something, open people's mind. Let's grow this community, y'all, because that's what it's all about. And last but not least, one of my favorite ones is become a public speaker. You know what you do well. You're an expert. Let people know that what you do. You know, if speaking isn't necessarily isn't your number one fear, you know, hone your skills, become a great and entertaining speaker. It's a fabulous way to demonstrate your expertise and generate new business. You know, just like Dr. Griggs, he was into medicine, but he didn't necessarily love, you know, going out and, you know, dealing with sick people. Well, look how he's turned that around. He does wellness, and he is now the wellness ambassador for the city. People look to him for his knowledge, and he literally touches people's lives and helps people. I know he's helped me. There's numerous occasions where I've come in here. I said, Doc Griggs, this isn't working. How do I do this? Eileen, try this a little bit differently. You know, he's taken medicine to a whole nother level, and he's reaching a whole bunch of people. What are you doing to move your business to the next level? How are you, you know, thinking out of the box? What are you doing to grow your marketing campaign? Well, Carter Business Development opens people's minds living differently through the world, through the Good Life radio show every day. So I want you to join me and reach out to your music community. I'm going to do this one last before we leave. Reach out to the music community. If there's someone that you know who is up and coming in music, someone who, you know, is already established, or whomever, I'm looking for a new theme music. So please reach out, 504-400-7127. That's 504-400-7127. Or you can email me at Eileen@tglradioshow.com. That's Eileen, EILEEN, @tglradioshow.com. And I'll be talking about it every day. We're doing a campaign for new theme music for the Good Life radio show. And like I said, Lee, when we're on Ellen, they're going to want their music played, right? So make sure that you contact me, because that's the Good Life. Let's grow this together. And make sure you contact Carter Business Development at 504-400-7127. That's the Good Life. Make sure you stay tuned tomorrow for Relationship Tuesday. And I'm out.